I want, I'm going to get whatever I want. I have to get.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
So not only has it been confirmed that there was GHB in those bottles of baby oil, which was why, and I felt that way. I was like, the only reason you would stock something that much is so that you can have it in bulk. Why would you need to have baby oil in bulk like that? Well, because it's a special baby oil. It's a special baby oil. Okay, it's a very, very special baby oil. Everybody can't get this baby oil. Okay, this is a special shit. Drug a bitch, instantaneous. Okay, you turn the heat on 84 degrees. Okay, listen to me. You put the heat on 84 degrees. All right, and you tell a bitch you gonna give her a massage, and you start rubbing it into her. I tell you, in exactly 3 minutes and 34 seconds, she will be incapacitated. Okay, so if you didn't want to plan for other people to come in, they can count 4 minutes and then come in. Bitch ain't gonna remember nothing. Blink twice. That's what it's given. That's what it's given. Yes, it soaks into the epidermis. Okay, your skin is your first line of defense. All right, so it will soak into your pores. If the room, because I heard him talk about the room having to be the right temperature. Yeah, I'm just being stupid. I don't know what the exact degrees is. Okay, but it's very much given. There's a reason for every little thing in order to create the perfect environment for what he's about to do. And so, with that being said, you have to understand that when somebody is putting that much thought into what they're about to do, at some point, you have got to recognize their victim is not as responsible as them. Their victim is not as responsible as them. Yes, your skin is your largest organ. Talk about it. With that being said, there's a new story. There are going to be people in the comments talking about, I don't believe it at all, especially on Hollywood Unlocked. Y'all, something is wrong with Jason Lee. Jason Lee's, and this is the thing, before we really get into this. This is what I understand. I understand that people who do this job, who report on this shit with celebrities and on the blogs and all of that, they get up here and they say one thing and they think another. It's a shock jock. It's a performer. It's someone that is trying to invoke energy. They're trying to invoke emotion. If they can make you feel a way, they got you, right? It is a mentality that is used by a lot of different people and a lot of different performers, okay? YSAP, one of the people that is really good at utilizing blurring the lines of truth and lies in order to create a performance. And when they're blurring the line, it means you ask them a question. They will answer the question as if they're being truthful, but they're not. It's not really what they think. Exactly. They have no real integrity. Because integrity is you being able to trust that a person is saying what they feel and what they think without any, other shit going on. So I recognize that there are people in this business that see this more as a performance, and that's fine. But they shouldn't run for any offices as far as I'm concerned. I understand the political climate. I know how politics work. I know who those people are. I know what it takes to be one, because essentially a pastor, a person that's on a microphone talking to y'all, like all of that, a politician, all of that is being charismatic and good at speaking. It's literally the same job with just different motivation or, different subject area. But essentially, we orate. Okay? And I understand this. But that does not mean that you should become a politician, because the way Jason Lee is talking about this Diddy case, it just makes me feel like you don't have a informed perspective on this. You don't have an informed perspective. You don't even seem to understand. You're like, because I heard somewhere he's running for office. You're running for office, but you don't have the basic understanding of someone who's running for office. They should understand that just because somebody does not get convicted of something, it doesn't mean that they didn't do it. It means that laws are sometimes very specific. Laws are very specific. So if I can't prove that a law was broken, it doesn't mean that a law wasn't broken. It just means I can't prove it. And anybody that has watched one episode of SVU should understand that just because somebody doesn't get convicted, it doesn't mean they didn't do it. And proving such things are hard. Because essentially it's something going on behind closed doors with nobody else around to corroborate whether it happened or not. So you have to base it off of other factors. And if you don't have enough evidence or you don't have a pattern of behavior, which we do in this case, then I can understand, hey, that person doesn't get convicted of that crime. They don't have a pattern of behavior. There's no other evidence that can really prove it. You got to let them go. Doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Just means they couldn't prove it. Jason Lee doesn't seem to understand that. He doesn't seem to understand that as it pertains to this Diddy case. Because he seems to think that if Diddy gets found not guilty, that he's not guilty of anything. That's weird to me. That shows me that you either are being purposefully obtuse, like you bullshitting, which you probably are. But I feel like it's not safe for you to be involved in anybody's political office, making life or death decisions for anybody in your area when we can't trust what you're saying versus what you're thinking and how you will vote, how you will handle. Like, no. To me, that's a sign that I can't trust whatever the fuck you talking about. I can't trust you. Off rip. You've given me enough evidence to know that I can't trust you because you don't seem to understand these things, these very serious things in real life that have nothing to do with a fucking blog story. You want to be involved in making decisions for other people. Yeah, no. That's just how I feel. Anyway, so back to the Diddy shit, right? So Sean Diddy Combs is facing another serious allegation in a new lawsuit. The complaint claims that the music mogul used a television remote to sexually assault a woman, allegedly as retaliation for her belief that he was involved in the murder of the legendary rapper Tupac Shakur, which y'all know people have been saying is exactly the case. In the shocking lawsuit, Diddy, the founder of Bad Boy Records, is accused of SAing a woman named Ashley Parham. Okay, look, she said her name. The lawsuit alleges that the incident occurred during a gangbang-style assault following a FaceTime call where Parham reportedly insulted the music mogul. According to the allegations, the encounter began in February 2018 when Parham met a friend of Diddy's at a bar. During a FaceTime call with Diddy, she openly expressed, she wasn't even in the same room with him. She openly expressed her lack of admiration for the hip-hop icon, even suggesting that she believed he had a role in the murder of Tupac Shakur. So somebody was like, yeah, all this stuff was going on and y'all didn't say nothing. Well, this is somebody that said something to him. In her lawsuit, Parham claims that the man she encountered at the bar invited her to his residence in Orinda, California. Upon her arrival, she alleges that Diddy appeared and remarked that she never expected to meet him face to face. According to her account, Diddy then brandished a knife near her face, threatened to give her a glass glow smile in response to her remarks about Tupac. And then I'm sure he went on to, yeah. I mean, so I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I believe it. Like, this is one of them stories that people are probably gonna be in the comments. Like, now y'all have taken to the idea that, you know, everybody that's coming out with a story is lying. So people in the comments are saying shit like, oh, he was responsible for this, he's responsible for that, he's responsible for climate change. Like, y'all are making jokes about this shit when really we're just expressing to you how Diddy is going around harming all of these people over all of these years. Like that's really what this is, y'all. I don't even think Diddy has enough money to pay all of these people. I don't even think that's what it's about at this point. I think it's just about everybody telling their fucking story about their terrible experience with this nigga. Like that's what I think it's about at the end of the day. And this sounds exactly, not exactly, but it sounds similar to the story about the man that worked at Echo in Macy's, the Macy's story, where you mad because you jealous of somebody for whatever reason. And so you basically exact revenge on them. To me, he very much seemed to use assault as a way to seek revenge on people. So in his mind, he is, getting back at Echo by assaulting the man that works for them. And this woman said some shit on a FaceTime call with a whole nother person. Like she wasn't even with him. But the thing about it is, what she did not realize is this is one of Diddy's men. And I don't know if y'all peeped this, but R. Kelly had the same thing. He would have people in different areas that would look for girls for him. They will go to the malls and wherever and be like, oh, do you know who R. Kelly is? Maybe put him on a phone or something like that. They get excited and then, they go and see R. Kelly. They're going to meet R. Kelly, or he would pop up, whatever. But they have henchmen out there looking for the type of women that they would want. And she did not recognize that this man who she was sitting next to, whose house she felt free to go to, is one of Diddy's guys that is looking for a woman. So when he calls Diddy on FaceTime with her, I'm guessing they thought that the opposite would happen, that she would be excited, that she would like him, that she would want to go and fuck him or want to go to his house or something like that she would be open to it. But she wasn't. But we know you don't have to be into it. Most of the time, the people aren't into it. That's why there's GHB and drugs in everything. Because the one thing everybody keeps forgetting is that if you have to drug people to the extent that they can't move, they don't want to be there. They don't want to be there. If you have to drug them to the point that they can't move, you are trying to keep them from leaving. You're trying to keep them from fighting you. That's not voluntary, sweetheart. That's not giving you knew what you were getting into. No, it's not. That's not what it's giving. It's giving y'all trick these girls. And that's why I said it was the same thing with Devontae. Devontae seemingly did the same thing. Brought a girl to Diddy for him and your boy to assault. They use, and I imagine that Diddy was using Devontae because Devontae's so attractive. Can you imagine? That pissed me off so bad with Devontae. Because I love Devontae, not only because he was so cute back in the day, but because Devontae did a lot of the producing and writing their music. And I love their music. Love Jodeci. Play Jodeci all the time. One of my favorite artists, like in life, Devontae Swing from Jodeci. His story came out last week where he brought the girl that Diddy and Aaron Hall is accused of assaulting. He brought her to the studio. So imagine she is trying to get with Devontae's fine ass, thinking that, oh, I just met Devontae. I'm going to the studio with Devontae. Girl, what? You bucked up. You excited. You thinking you about to get Jodeci dick down. You been listening to these songs and listening to them niggas sing panties off, and you thinking you about to get the dick down to your life by Devontae Swing. And he brings you into a studio and stands there as two men who you don't want to have sex with, cockeyed Aaron Hall and beady-eyed Diddler. And y'all know they probably drugged her, gave her a drink or something. You thinking you safe because you in a studio. Like, But it sounds like that's what happened with her. I believe it. It follows the line of the way he would be with people, like definitely using sex as a weapon.